Hi everyone. My name is Dana. My pronouns are he, him. Tonight, with the open hearth, we are playtesting a game of mine called AKA, a espionage thriller tabletop RPG. Um, Last week, I guess this is a two shot. So last week we had a good session. Unfortunately, this week we're missing our agent, but we're gonna, I guess, kick the tires on not playing with an agent this week. I am playing JC Devlin, who is the conspirator, who is, I guess, playing both sides against the middle. No one's quite sure what side he is really on and where his loyalties lie. Um, Last week we saw him being very protective of his secrets and taking out a an unnamed agent as they flew out of a successful mission um, because JC has his suspicions about that agent. And that's fair. All's fair in espionage and war, you know. Okay, Anders, do you want to introduce yourself and go next?
Yeah, I'm Andrey. I am playing the boss, whose name is Robert Wall. He is the bad guy. He is the leader of this agency and the agency is up to bad things, and he's done some bad things as well, though not so much in the game. He's been frustrated by lacking satellite coverage and other things. Um, so yeah, we'll see what happens this session.
Hi, my name's Jonathan. I'm pronounced he, him, and I'll be playing James Mason, the handler. In the previous session, the agent, capably played by Sabine, was doing an excellent job, and James was facilitating their double agency. There was an exciting scene in a cafe in Buenos Aires with a rebel attack, and we've seen James provide all sorts of gadgets and secret plans to help Carter, but our agent. But something. This session, we're going to be seeing how James handles the much more slippery JC.
Yeah, excellent. Um, so I think we're in our final scene of the mission proper. So Jonathan, you are going to be leading out. So do you have, I guess, an idea of, do we do a scene shift for this aspect of the mission? What do we see going on in Langley or wherever the company is based?
Well, good question. I think I think we see a scene with this is a sidebar scene. I don't know, with JC and James in the wake of the loss of this other agent in this double agent in the previous mission. So maybe we see like James hanging outside a cafe or a convenience store, like, you know, looking at the papers, and we see JC walk up and pick up a paper, something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Does that
Yeah, we can
does
have
that work for you?
an awkward conversation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Maybe JC is expecting to meet Cynthia here, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Um, So
I
I
like
kind of
that.
look at you and, put the money into or hand over the money or put the money into the machine, whatever it is, and like take out the
Yeah.
paper and just like shake my head, ostensibly at the headline or the sports results or whatever, but you can see I'm going like, what the fuck?
Yeah. And James is like, uh, it, it seems Cutter had something interesting to say in her debrief. Oh, in their debrief.
Did they?
Yeah. It seems that Harry fell out of the helicopter.
That was a real
Ha-
tragedy.
Yeah, I was just wondering, you know, in the in, how could that happen? I thought it was a simple extraction.
I mean, he's young and foolish. He was in a situation maybe that he didn't understand. The people who sent him into that situation didn't understand.
Well, it's a real shame. Um, Harry had some valuable intel that we were really hoping to see. You didn't happen to catch anything before it he fell.
I mean, if I was going to catch anything, it would have been Harry, surely.
Well,
When you didn't blurt out classified information on the way down,
mm.
that seems sort of foolish.
Well, I thought, seeing as Carter told me that you were already on the chopper,
Yeah,
I thought
yeah.
he might have been able to hand it off before he fell. Before
Well, let me
he.
give you some advice, Mason. Don't shit where I eat.
How's Cynthia?
Screw you. And I think I'll dump the paper on the counter or whatever and walk out.
Sounds good.
Are you happy with that sidebar?
Yeah. Yeah, that was good. Okay.
And to look at JC, you'd swear butter wouldn't melt in his mouth, but he's a
Yeah.
he's a prickly bastard.
Oh yeah. No, we know.
Yeah, yeah.
That was good. That was really good. Okay, so how does it work, Donna? Do we am I leading and now setting a scene?
Yeah,
Is that how?
so you can set the scene and then you lead with any card you want. We
Mm-hmm.
have to draw a new trump, so let me do that.
Mm-hmm.
So trumps for this round are spades.
Okay. Oh, let me check my advantages now. I don't think they're related to spades. No, it's clubs. Oh, handling the conspirators is going to be very tricky. I think so. We've got to set a mission here that the conspirator is going to go on in the absence of
Yeah,
or alongside the agent. I mean, we could just narrate the agent as an
yeah.
accomplice.
I guess I wouldn't feel like you absolutely need a new mission, but the
Mm,
kind of arc of the mission we've had in the last three scenes is, this arms dealer and the base and the kind of transponder for Air Force One that we introduced. So
that's right.
it could be, I mean, obviously it could be like a new tactical situation or a new situation,
Mm,
but I think it would work best if it kind of draws on the kind of previous
hmm.
elements that we've established.
Yeah, for sure. And just remind us what was the scene with the transponder? Like what
So this was in
was
the arms depot or the warehouse in Buenos Aires, where
Mhm.
there was like a rebel attack on a warehouse of arms, and that was kind of what they were doing. But inside that, there was like a briefcase or something with an iPad or some kind of tablet with the Air Force One transponder code on it. So
right?
very kind of, I guess, unusual. Maybe we imagined it shouldn't have been there, or who knows.
Okay. Does anyone have any inspiration? Because I'm struggling at the moment. It's a bit early in the morning. So um
Um, I guess ostensibly, right, that was being sold to someone. Maybe that's the boss's grand plan, is to get this and sell it to, you know,
mhm.
a um, another bunch of not nice people.
Yeah.
Um, so maybe there's some kind of company ploy to like attach this transponder code to another plane so that the not nice people blow up the wrong target or something like that. I don't know.
Mm.
What do you think, Anders? What who do you think maybe you're selling this transponder code to, and for what purpose?
Yeah, but I like that idea generally. Who would, well, let's say the North Koreans, maybe they could do something like that,
Mm.
and then
Sounds
attaching it to, well, a Russian plane would be good then as the countermeasure to that. Like then let's you and him fight, you know?
Yeah.
that sounds cool. Um okay. So and we have to so I have to put James in this scene of where or of how or at least set up James's role in this meet or this exchange. Um,
Um, so is the question some kind of infiltration to this airfield where the Russian plane would
mm,
be, or like an infiltration to like something really prosaic, like a luggage handling facility or something like that. I don't know.
Could be that, or maybe like that part has already happened, and this is like the handoff with the other agents, with the North Koreans.
Mhm.
I yeah,
Maybe that's
I think
the agent is off doing the actual changing the transponder code thing, and this is like the other part of the mission.
Yeah.
Does that work?
What do you think, Jonathan?
and so just to clarify so the agents in the field trying to exchange this sell this transponder code
Or
and what's
implanting it in the plane, and then we are doing the kind of handover of the remote control device or whatever is going to hook onto that.
right. Okay.
if I'm understanding Anders's
Yeah,
suggestion.
there was
Yeah.
just a thought to not push Mason into being like suddenly being a field agent, but
No, yeah. Well, I'm thinking now that we could have we could start the scene where Mason and their team did I do he him or he him Mason and his team kind of like setting up surveillance in the background for this exchange. So like they're in the back room kind of wherever this is going to take place, like maybe
Mhm.
it sounds like maybe a factory in North Korea. So like there's they're in a like a tunnel underground beneath the factory. So like there's maybe like a, a, a decommissioned like or um an infrequently used like water or pipe system, and they're kind of set up in the tunnel with they're like starting to with their laptops, and we can see a display of the room, and we see maybe we see is it JC or Carter who's there come in to do the buy.
Yeah, I think it'll
Does that
be
sound?
JC. Maybe Carter is often Baikonur or
Yeah.
whatever this Russian airfield is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds
Cool.
fair to me.
Does that work? Yeah. Okay. So we see JC walk in and greet the lead North Korean and their entourage on this, like from this kind of like camera that's must be in the ceiling, like in the corner of a room, like. Okay, and I'll play a card.
Okay. I'm going. Oh, you're not leading very high here. The boss
No.
is gonna gazump us, I think. What do you think? So, what does this look like from your point of view? Like, how do you see Mason put everything together, and like what calls is he making or instructions to JC?
Yeah. I don't think it's to JC. I think JC kind of like knows the deal and is senior and experienced enough to be able to act or to be autonomous, like act on their own initiative. And that I think also after the last sidebar, I think James is just trying to keep up. Like he's trying
Okay.
to make sure he stays on top of the situation. So he's like, whatever happened, he's like telling these guys he's making sure that they're like, can we get a clearer image? Make sure we've got, have you covered the exits as well? Make sure you've got those, and whatever happens, don't lose sight of the remote or whatever the package is.
Mm. So Anders.
And we've got
Oh,
JC on a mic, obviously. We've got audio as well, not just video.
yeah. Yeah, Anders. Do we like see the Robert and JC sitting down back at the agency, like going through this, or do we have like another picture of the boss back at base, like talking into JC's other ear?
yeah, I think we're definitely back at the base, and I think we're like in the big control room, and Wall is like watching the big world map, and I think there's this blinking light that shows where the transponder is located. And suddenly that shifts to being somewhere like in Siberia or something. And because I do not have any spades, so I'm screwed here. So it's once again his what that's not right. It's not supposed to be there. And he's yelling at poor Chen, who is sitting there trying to keep track of what's going on, and it's not going well. So War has like a big outburst, not quite Kylo Ren style smashing things, but like sweeping a pile of papers off a desk and storming off and punching a wall as he like walks back and forth and yells at people to fix this, fix it.
So do we see like JC wins, as the this kind of
Yeah.
um,
He
ruction
grabs
comes
like
through?
so there's someone there whose job it is to like have communications with JC, and Robert just goes there and grabs the mic and just yells at it, fix this, JC, fix it.
What does fix it mean? Like, do you think what's our understanding is like to cancel the mission or to just figure out what's happening afterwards? What is Robert's usual
Yeah,
style on this?
I think he's mostly just lashing out at this point, but um, I think cancel the mission is like don't let them get the codes is probably what it's going for.
Um, yeah, and I think like I think the garbled response is, sorry, can you say again? And we see in the video camera him just handing over the tablet and like showing them the the kind of layout of the screen. Um, and of course, JC speaks has a terrible accent when he's speaking Korean because that's the genre, right?
Yeah.
uh, just tap here in Korean is what people might understand, right? And obviously he's in the middle of the action, so he can't like put his hand to his ear and say, "Please say that again." That's the kind of stuff that gets you killed, right? um, so I do have a spade, a seven of spade. Um, so yeah, I think we see him hand it over, and then like he kind of shakes off in a quiet moment. Maybe he turns off the yelling in one ear and and brings them through it. And I don't know, you know, I guess it's still filling the coffers of the agency, right? It's still like a big uh, transfer of cash uh, into some numbered Swiss bank account, or whatever it is. Um, and yeah, I think there's like maybe no double cross, and it'll take them a while to get set up and to and I think maybe there's some reason that Air Force One is going to be like imagined to be in the same place as this Russian flight at some stage, and it doesn't look wrong to them because they're sure they have the right transponder. So we
There's
just
a
see,
there's a summit or something. So,
yeah, exactly. So maybe there's a summit in India or something like this where it would be, it would make sense, right? um, yeah. I think Delhi International Airport is obviously very busy this weekend. um, yeah, and I think we see JC walk out, and in both communicators, he says it's done, and I'm out. They've got the plane on their scopes now. And yeah, I think we just see him walk out, get into a jeep, and drive away, and that's the last we see of JC in Korea. Hopefully, until next episode.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think that's the end of that scene, unless anyone has anything extra to add. Okay. Yeah. Does anyone have? I think maybe we want a sidebar for Robert. I think that might be interesting. Do we see? Obviously, we have the spouse, and then we have maybe some of the other workers in the agency. So whatever you prefer, Anders. Be interested to see.
I think either the spouse or maybe thinking of having him leaning on someone, like one of the more civilian characters, just setting up an ominous second episode. Like,
Yeah. Do you think maybe with Jen, maybe to see exactly how this could have happened, or make this your priority kind of talk?
Sorry,
Jen is the
who?
techie.
Oh no, I was thinking one of the characters connected to the age.
Okay. Or the agent's fiance, or what do you think?
Yeah, I think that could be fun.
Because I think also from the mission, the agent went a little bit off radar, right?
Yeah.
Wherever they were probably not supposed to be in Baikonur, so yeah.
Yeah, so I was thinking something like Nina, is that, yeah. So she's sitting in a restaurant and waiting for Carter to show up there, and then Robert just sits down at the table instead.
Mm-hmm. Jonathan, do you want to play Nina, or do you have any preference one way or the other?
No, I don't have a preference. Whichever.
Well, do you want how I'd say, because we have no idea what she's like. We haven't seen her on screen.
No, we haven't. Yeah.
So do you want me to describe her and you play her, or do you want to describe her and have me play her?
I like Jonathan to play her because I don't think we've had a scene together.
Yeah. Sure. Like ever ended.
Yeah.
Not just this game.
Yeah.
Have you got an inclination for a type of personality, Jonathan, or will I just?
No, I can just see. I'm just looking at the picture. I kind of. Yeah, I'm just kind of getting an impression that Nina is, quite reserved and cautious, but also, you know, can be quite impulsive and artistic, is kind of the vibe that I'm getting. And she's like a beautiful, for those who can't see the picture, she looks like a beautiful European and heritage woman, or in maybe early 30s, maybe like almost like what I would almost envisage as maybe French, or like in the way that she's dressed, like is almost like stylish and yeah, like Parisian almost, like someone who wouldn't look out of place with in a you know, French cafe, or you know, or bistro, like sitting drinking a cup of coffee and smoking a cigarette. So and I've, you know, she's got curly hair hanging down, and it's kind of like just stare. Where are we meeting, Robert?
I think it's a restaurant. Bistro sounds
Bistro
good.
sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So she's sitting there, like just kind of staring into space, like off, like, you know, smoking a cigarette and just looking around. And there's like kind of like an air of vulnerability, but I think she hides this kind of like, I think she's quite steely inside. But it's you can't necessarily see that, except when she like maybe ashes the cigarette a little bit, and then and looks at you and smiles as you walk up to sit down.
yeah, so Robert picks up a menu and says, "You should order this special. It's very good." And like definitely taking up space, like close to her.
Yeah. She kind of like um you know, smokes and sits back, and it's like, um I'm really not that hungry, you know.
Just some wine then. And he waves for a waiter and like points to something on the menu. Two glasses, and just hands off the menu.
So have we met before, by the way, Robert?
I
Like
don't think so.
I don't think so, no. And do I know that your relationship to Carter? Like, do I know your Carter's
Probably
boss,
not.
or probably not?
I don't think so. This is just
So you've just
random.
come up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. All right. So I wasn't, we weren't expecting to meet. You just came to my table, and
Yeah.
you're just sitting down. All right. So yeah, I'm clearly like uncomfortable, but I'm not telling you, I haven't told you to go get lost or anything. Like, I'm
Mhm.
just kind of like, just kind of watching you and smoking the cigarette and sitting back.
Yeah. So I think I'm just sitting and watching you until like the waiter arrives and pours the wine, and I taste it and all of that, like going through the whole ritual before we actually get our wine. And think,
You
yeah.
know, I'm meeting someone.
Oh, not today, you're not. Carter's busy.
Where are they?
Well, I don't want to go through the whole thing of I could tell you, but then I'd have to kill you. But you know, it's that sort of deal. And I hope you know what you're getting into with this relationship.
I don't know what you're talking about. Um, I I think you should leave.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't planning on staying. Um, it's good that you don't know, or that you say that you don't know. That means either Carter is doing his job, or he has they've told you what to say. That's good. Just keep in mind that they haven't told you everything that's going on here. And yeah, sorry, if you want to respond, otherwise.
Who the fuck are you?
Oh, that's another one of the I'd have to kill you deals. But I'm sure we'll be seeing each other again. And he takes a sip of wine and sets the glass down and just walks out of there.
She looks a bit unnerved and just like gets her bag and leaves like it and I think like maybe a waiter like comes up to and we see them talking at the table. She's like shaking her head and just like and he tries to stop her, but she's just like brushes him off and walks out.
Cool.
Nice to see Robert in control of something.
Yeah.
For once.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Poor Nina.
Yeah, poor Nina.
Yeah,
She's
yeah.
really
Okay,
not
awesome.
happy.
Yeah. So the final kind of card playing segment of the mission is the debrief. But obviously, this is like essentially two debriefs in parallel. There's the debrief led at the agency by the boss, and maybe the debrief led back at the company by the handler. And I guess JC is in both of these simultaneously, trying to cover his ass or whatever. Anish, the boss, always leads the debrief. So you
Yeah.
get to. There is. Let me double check.
Is there a Trump?
There is no Trump during
Okay.
the debrief. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I have limited options here, but I'm going to. So this is this. I imagine this is like a conference room or something, and it's Robert and JC, and there are probably some other people there as well, who are like taking notes and showing stuff on screens and generally doing meeting stuff. But it's clear that like the power axis in the room is like Robert and JC. They are the important people who are there. And I think Robert is at least that's I think we come in like when we're some ways into the debrief. And Robert is like standing up and like leaning on his knuckles on the table over JC, and I don't understand how so many things could go so wrong at this mission. We lost an agent. The transponder codes ended up in the wrong place. It's just a mess. The whole thing is a mess.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say, when in that initial briefing, being sent to Buenos Aires to some arms warehouse where we would expect the transponder to be, I mean, I think in that initial briefing, I did wonder, is this for real? Like, how does that get there? So I have to assume that whoever sold you that was playing you from the off, or whoever sold you the information that this is where it would be was never on your side. And that kind of explains everything. Maybe it was, I don't know, this Darcy guy, the arms dealer. I don't know who he's really working for, but
That sounds a lot like you're trying to push blame for your failure on me.
my failure being picking up exactly what I was told would be there and
And
sending.
losing an agent, dropping
Fuck that
them out of
guy.
a helicopter.
Fuck that guy. I'm not sure we really trusted him, did we?
Trust has nothing to do with it. You know that. It's not
Sure.
about trust. It's what you can expect people to do.
Well, well, Robert. I think my hand has obviously taken all of the luck out of yours, Andish, in this.
Yeah. No, that's perfect.
Well, Robert, I think if you want to compartmentalize your investigation, sure, leave me out of it. I would be investigating two things. One is whatever source you got that transponder out of, and Harry. Dig deep into Harry, and who knows what you'll find.
Yeah, that's good. I think we can kind of end it. Right?
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, maybe there's other stuff, like maybe the debrief kind of de-escalates or is defanged, and there's like all of this normal, non-confrontational debrief stuff. And maybe we're trying to identify who was on this plane from Russia and see exactly what trouble we're in. All that kind of normal day-to-day stuff. Jonathan,
I just felt like the main confrontation.
Yeah, exactly.
Was done with.
So Jonathan, why don't you set the scene for the other debrief?
Could I ask for a break just for 5 minutes before we do that?
Yeah, sure. We've just gone past the hour.
Okay. Okay, awesome.
Yeah, okay, we're back.
Okay. And so we're doing a debrief with the company led by the handler, which is played by me. So there's no trump. I can just lead anything from my hand.
Well, no. So this is the same scene. So
it's the same scene.
Andish has led clubs.
Okay, so I've got to follow suit.
Yeah, you got to follow suit.
Okay. That changes things then. Because I don't have a club. So which without trumps makes makes it difficult. So I'm going to play the 8 of diamonds, which is kind of redundant in this hand. So I'm trying to think, how does. I think we see, and this is a mirrored scene at the company. Is that correct? Where we see.
So this can be like in the company, and this can be like Mason explaining to his bosses how it went, or trying to defend why something happened, or it can be like him debriefing JC. If you wanted to. So.
Yeah. I think that here with the not being able to follow suit and so JC wins the hand. I like it that and that James's play here is kind of redundant. So I feel like James is just telling his bosses, yeah, everything seems to be on track. We've got JC was able to orchestrate the transponder exactly how we wanted it. It's a shame that we lost a good agent in Harry, but JC assures me that that it was necessary and that the mission was successful, and so we're on track we're in control of this this cell of the agency, and thanks to the great work of Carter and JC. So I think we're ready for phase 2. And yeah, I think everyone watching the show knows that it's really JC who's in control, and that James is putting on a brave face, he knows that he's got a problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and maybe just to show how much JC is playing both sides. Maybe we see like a briefing, a couple of days later or whatever, where the boss is like handing over a dossier on Nina to JC and saying, find out what she knows or something like this. And again, Robert has said, it doesn't, trust doesn't matter here, but maybe this is him trying to figure out exactly who he can trust here, JC or Carter. So yeah. Okay, awesome. So the final stage after a mission is the fallout. And so the rules, I'm still not exactly sure how I won five of those hands that we played. But the rule is whoever has the fewest hands won gets a setback. And I guess that means no. Let me double check. Maybe there's a tie break. No. In my rules, it's 2 sentences, and the second sentence is 2 or more players are tied for last place, then each of them gets a setback. So yeah. So you get to set a scene or a montage or something like this where one of these setbacks comes true for your character. You can choose any off the list. So, and some of them are very light fictional circumstances, but some of them are quite significant. So have a look at your list and then holler when you see one you like.
I know which one. Headquarters send an old friend to troubleshoot. Like the news of this fiasco with the transponder codes has reached headquarters, and someone even scarier than Robert has shown up to check what's happening here, which is bad news for
Mhm. I mean, so this would be the first time we have an impression that like Robert isn't at the top of
yeah,
the
yeah.
organization, right?
Hmm.
And that
So
there's
I think he's in like yeah, one of those dark rooms with a big screen, and he's talking to someone, like just a shadowy figure, like just we just see like the outline and not their face, and there's some sort of voice distortion, just so that we can have this person show up later and you know.
but also we haven't cast him yet.
Yeah, yeah. uh, yeah, now I'm just doing this whole thing by myself, but I think they're saying like we're very disappointed. We've sent someone to help you get things back on track, um, and that's like a door opens and this other person.
And what kind of reaction do we see from Robert? Like, is he panicking or worried
Um,
or kind of uh,
Definitely worried. I think uh, like a brief moment of shock, and then he like uh, uh, I don't know how you say it, but he like regains control
okay, yeah,
and
yeah.
pretends, very obviously pretends that he's very happy with this and gladly taking all the help he can get. Of course, happy to have any assistance headquarters is willing to offer.
Okay. Um, and is there like a kerfuffle in the rest of the office, or is this completely secret from the rest of the organization?
Ooh. Oh, actually, I think before this person enters, we see like uh, close up. We don't see their face in these shots, but we see like this person walking through the office landscape, just like shot of their feet or like their torso, and we see the reactions of the other staff working there, like, oh, who's that, and looking a bit scared that this person here.
Awesome. Yeah, yeah. Any other details you want to add, or will we go to Mason?
No, I think I'm good there.
Jonathan, how about your setback?
I think because we haven't really seen much of the buddy, like we haven't cast them, that like maybe we're limited budget for the first season, but so I'd skip those and go to your supervisor wants to meet the agent for something else. I think I think like it follows on nicely after the debrief. Like one of the bosses, like a woman in the room who seemed to be in charge, comes up to James's desk and says, like, James, can I have a word? And James kind of looks up surprised and is like, okay. And she like indicates, gestures for him to follow her into a meeting room, and they close the door. And she says, I think it's time that Carter and I meet. And like kind of like you see James, it's like, are you sure that's a good idea? I don't think she's ready yet. And oh, sorry, I don't think he's ready yet. And the boss is like, it wasn't a question, James. It's like, okay, fine. I'll set it up. thank you. And then that's not like, you know, and she leaves, and we can see James is like, you know, puts his hand to his head and is like, turns his back, and that's clearly not happy.
Is James like afraid of losing control, or afraid of something bad happening because of this breach of protocol? What's his concern?
Yes.
All of the above, yeah. Awesome. Okay. So normally in a larger scale game, we would also start to build up this series mystery. So like there's a kind of a puzzle put together over the course of many missions where we and whoever wins the most hands like puts a piece in that puzzle. But I guess there's no real benefit to doing that, I think, except to completely tease our dozens of viewers. So I think we can leave it there. I think those setbacks are exactly what you need as a little epilogue. So yeah, I think I'll stop the recording and we'll do our actual player debrief. So thanks. Yeah.